This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, August the 4th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and it's still a stormy pattern we're under. Really quickly, I'd like to look at the temperature trace from my weather station yesterday. Very interesting. We had a shower come close by and some clouds, and then all of a sudden we broke out into the sun and noticed we jumped almost 5 degrees quickly, and then a shower came nearby once again and got only 1/100th of an inch. But it's amazing how much it affects the temperatures. This morning we're looking at some clouds. There's a look at our sky cam from Montevallo. And a pretty shot there. Looks like some mid-level clouds potentially. And then we see some mid-level clouds at Mount Cheaha as a nice sunrise shot. We're still dealing with general high pressure from the Bermuda High, and also dealing with a low pressure center over the western Great Lakes that has been the focus of the upper air pattern for the last couple of days as it moves steadily into the Great Lakes area from the west across the north-central part of the United States along the U.S.-Canadian border, and that's going to be affecting our weather over the next couple of days as we see the weakness over us kind of decrease, but then come back as a result of that trough digging into the eastern half of the country, or the eastern third of the country or so. Radar not too active this morning across the southeastern United States, but we do expect to see showers and thunderstorms likely once again. With the presence of the front down here, the QPF looking at on the order of about 2 inches of rain over the next 5 days, and the front coming in Sunday, Monday time frame, and that certainly will help to increase our chances for rain. We're still in a C-text area for today. We had Storm Prediction Center had a slight risk expanded for us yesterday. Didn't get a great deal yesterday, but the potential is there, and the C-text means that the potential for some damaging winds. The greatest threat, slight risk, ahead of that trough coming across the western Great Lakes area. The front comes down into the Ohio River Valley on day 2. That's Sunday, and that brings the slight risk down our way closer into the Ohio and you might say Tennessee River Valleys. And day 3, we'll be dealing with no slight risk exactly, but a C-text down in the southeastern U.S. Tropics are very active right now. As we kind of expect, August, September being the climatological peaks. We have a little area of disturbed weather over the Bahamas. Doesn't expect that to develop, not expecting that to develop right now. Ernesto coming through the Caribbean, and then a Tropical Depression 6. There's a look at Ernesto, and becoming a little more organized, and definitely a tropical storm, and could become a hurricane as it approaches Jamaica on Sunday, tomorrow, and moving fairly quickly, and expected to come into the Gulf of Mexico perhaps early Thursday morning. And the model spreads still they kind of went apart yesterday, and they've come back a little closer together, and they're a little bit further to the south, and that's good because that takes the threat away from the eastern part of the Gulf of Mexico. But I do have some concerns. We'll talk about those concerns when we get to the GFS modeling this morning. And there's a quick look at National Hurricane Center's projection for Tropical Depression 6. And you can see that it is expected to stay pretty much out into the Atlantic, much further north, and actually could decrease to a depression by Tuesday as conditions just not favorable for development out there. All right, here's the modeling this morning, and this is the 060 GFS model run. And we've been talking about this trough coming across into the western Great Lakes, and here it comes. And also that the Bermuda High and our ridge, which is being dampened by that trough to the west here, the western ridge, as they're trying to get together, and that is helping to, you might say, dampen the weakness over us. And certainly that's trying to happen. We see that kind of happen on Sunday as the GFS analyzes the two ridges trying to get together. But that trough is over the Great Lakes, and it's going to be digging down into the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys, so it won't allow the ridge to build in too strongly. And we can see that a cold front is coming down into the Ohio River Valley on Sunday. On Monday, the main impulse moves over into and just off the New England coast, but we've got another one dropping in, and that one is going to help to reinforce the trough over the eastern half of the country. In the meantime, Monday, the front approaches the Tennessee River Valley, so that will increase our chances. So the bottom line is, for today, Sunday, and Monday, we stay fairly unsettled with showers and thunderstorms likely pretty much each day. The trough, that second shortwave digs in and helps to push the ridge back to the west again. So we're back into the trough over the eastern half of the country on Tuesday. We stay that way as it kind of takes up residence on Wednesday. And this is where my concerns are. You're beginning to see at the very bottom of the screen the reflection of Ernesto coming into the Western Caribbean and approaching the Yucatan Peninsula. We see it even more right there at the very bottom of the screen. And I'm very concerned about the closeness of the trough over the eastern half of the country and Ernesto. Now, right now, it looks like there's enough of a ridge between the two that Ernesto's going to go westward into Mexico. And that's good. I hope that, I don't hope that for those people in Mexico, of course, but for the U.S., that would certainly be good news. However, I'm concerned that the trough is over the eastern half of the country, and experience over the last 35, 40 years or so, when the two are that close, who's going to influence who? And that's going to be the big question to see what happens. By Friday, of course, we still have the trough over us, so we stay somewhat unsettled with daily chances for showers and thunderstorms. And by Saturday, a week from today, you can see the reflection of Ernesto in the southwest Gulf. And again, the two are close, but there's a bit of a ridge between them. I'm concerned about a weakness in there that could allow Ernesto to kind of make its way up into the central Gulf and perhaps into the southeastern U.S. But that is a little speculation right now. Model runs certainly suggesting that everything's going to go to the west, and I certainly think that's probably a good possibility. But there's a little bit of me that remembers some storms in the past that were influenced by a trough over the eastern half of the country. Going out into voodoo country, and we see that the weakness over the eastern third of the country is still there. The ridge building back a little bit, but not nearly as strong as we saw yesterday, so we're still continuing to see this flipping and flopping of the ridge building back into the eastern half of the country. And out in the Atlantic, we have what appears to be a pretty good storm going on, and this is around the 19th of August. But remember, this is voodoo country, and that's a long way out. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Weather Xtreme video. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning around 7:30 or 8. In the meantime, I hope that your Saturday is a good one. Stay dry.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
In back-to-back ratings periods,
more people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.